Hi there, friends. Welcome to Mind Sprout Books, a channel where we explore whole person growth through powerful books. This week's read is something special: The Age Master, Lessons of Nature, or, in spirit, 8 Profound Lessons from the Natural World by naturalist Kry Fuson. Drawing on recent research in biology, medicine, quantum physics, psychology, and philosophy, the author distills 8 luminous lessons from nature. As you read, it's as if a gentle hand leads you into the wild, inviting your eyes, ears, and heart to experience what nature longs to teach so you can live more fully. Only someone who has spent a lifetime watching the rhythms of the living world could write wisdom like this. It moves us with scientific clarity and the quiet sincerity of Mother Nature herself. So, let's settle into stillness and drink in the vitality of these 8 lessons from nature. We are fortunate to live in a wondrous scientific age. Here's a mind bender. Each day when you walk, electrons in your shoes repel the electrons in the ground. It feels solid, but in a sense you never truly touch the earth. You're hovering on an invisible cushion. Why point this out? To remember how much of the natural world we still don't know. Like our own lives, nature is constantly changing and brimming with marvels we haven't yet dared to explore. Without understanding our relationship to nature, we miss the deeper meanings of life. Too often, we shrink our lives to promotions, pay raises, and material goals, and forget to truly experience life by engaging with the living world. The author urges us first to reawaken our senses. He recalls wandering into the deep forests beyond the Rocky Mountains in the 1970s. I would stop, close my eyes, and listen to the wind until I became, in a way, a connoisseur of it. Black pines whispered in a low register. Douglas firs sighed like surf. Aspens chattered like a brook, while the dappled birches clattered like a sudden rain. Low shrubs rasped stiffly. Barley grass hissed. On the lip of permafrost, where it felt like the edge of the world, I heard cedar music. Windward branches snapped, leeward ones twisted and entwined. By the creek, I trained my nose. The air was cool and damp on my skin. Sunlight warmed my eyelids. My fingers traced cracked oak bark and the powdery sheen on poplar. Scents were endless. Vanilla from yellow pines, the sweetness of night-blooming flowers and mountain rain, the after-storm breath of meadows, rose, lantana, dandelion. With eyes closed, the aromas rolled in like Sunday morning coffee or waffles fresh from the iron. In the wild, all 5 senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, come alive. But humans carry a primal habit: compulsive classification. Since ancient times, we've sorted the world: useful, useless, safe, dangerous, friend, foe, smart, dull. It saves mental energy, but it also splits reality into rigid either-ors. Enter a forest, and we label deer and eagles good, flies and mosquitoes bad. Yet flies are major pollinators and master recyclers, keeping pests in check and nourishing the soil. Mosquitoes feed fish, lizards, birds, and salamanders. We swat one and feel justified, but the web is subtler than our snap judgments. We assume all species must be male or female. In truth, most plants are bisexual, and many fish, jellyfish, and shellfish can change sex as their communities require. Dualistic thinking bricks up a wall between us and the more than human world. The antidote is simple practice. Spend unhurried time outdoors. Sit by a river, listen to wind and birds, and let nature reveal her quiet intelligence. As we learn to live with uncertainty, to release knee-jerk judgments, We stop chasing pleasure and fleeing pain, and begin to see every rise and fall as part of a whole life. We've long been told evolution is a brutal contest. Big fish eat little fish. The strong survive. From there, it's easy to believe only those who outmuscle others can thrive. But life is not just competition. It's cooperation, symbiosis, and mutual reliance. Plants, for instance, are far wiser than we imagine. In a vast forest, a sapling shaded by giants doesn't simply wither. Underground, fungal mycelium threads the roots into a living network. For millions of years, trees and fungi have co-evolved. Fungi take sugars from photosynthesis and in return, route messages and resources. When a young tree is starving for light, the network signals healthier trees to share excess carbon and nutrients. The transfer happens invisibly beneath our feet. The sapling survives and grows. For ages, forests have prospered as communities, not rivals. Plants even treat us as part of that community, releasing phytoncides, antimicrobial compounds that we inhale. They course to our lungs and arteries, lowering blood pressure and cardiovascular risk. They boost lymphatic function and immune defenses. They support vital organs. Nature keeps giving, even as we clear cut for profit. As the saying goes, the fewer trees where we live, the higher our risks of illness and early death. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh once held up a sheet of paper and said, "Look deeply and you'll see white clouds, a mountain stream, trees, the woodcutters, their bread, the wheat, and the machines that harvested it, the whole world inside this page. Everything interis. Survival of the strongest also falters in the animal realm. Take Père David's deer. During the rut, males clash. Yet the fiercest often perish, driven mad by aggression, even running headlong into cars. Those that endure are the ones that can temper heat with calm and mate in peace." Physics, too, undercuts either or thinking. The famous double-slit experiment shows light behaving as both wave and particle, depending on how we look. Boundaries blur, mine/yours, species/species. In truth, I'm in you and you are in me. Human relationships follow the same law. We flourish not through every man for himself, but through generosity, compassion, and mutual support. Protect nature, and nature protects you. Start small. Skip single-use plastics. Bring your own utensils. Finish your meal and take leftovers home. Walk or bike short trips. Donate or upcycle. Save water and power. Plant trees or fund reforestation. Nature and humanity are not two. Caring for the earth is first and foremost caring for yourself. As Walt Whitman might nudge us, go outside, stroll under trees, sit and breathe with these quiet companions. When life feels thin, work, love, and social ties fail to satisfy. The one constant friend is the living world. Time and nature melts self-absorption and returns us to wholeness. Why so many species? Because diversity is nature's insurance policy. In droughts and plagues, some plants die, others endure, and the ecosystem holds. Diversity within and across species builds resilience. The same is true for us. Without diversity, we grow fragile. Resilience, the capacity to bend without breaking, is a life skill. If you rely on a single income stream, a single professional skill, or a single genre of books, you narrow your future and your mind. Variety broadens your options and your outlook. Research echoes this. Mixed juries reach more accurate verdicts. Scholarly teams with diverse backgrounds publish work that is more frequently cited. Francis Bacon warned that truth made universal too quickly becomes dangerous. Easy consensus can be a trap. We claim to be inclusive, then try to make everyone the same. Mass education and cultural pride can slide into forced assimilation, the root of many human tragedies. Diversity begins at home, in families, classrooms, offices. Don't demand that others mirror you. When someone disagrees online and we fire off harsh words, it's often our inner superiority refusing to make room for difference. Embrace variety in the streets as you do in the forest, and you'll remember nature's third lesson. Honor diversity, reject one-sidedness, welcome what's different. During dry seasons, elephant herds must decide whether to migrate in search of water, a risky, energy-heavy move. Herds led by elder matriarchs fare better, yet those very matriarchs are targeted for their valuable tusks. It's heartbreaking and instructive. Across species, females often do far more than bear young. They weave and tend complex social bonds that safeguard life. Human cultures knew this. Vietnam venerates the mother goddesses. The West tells of Gaia, Earth Mother. Lao Tzu counseled, "Know the masculine, keep to the feminine, be the valley of the world." When we let nature guide us, we see that restoring the feminine to its rightful, equal place is essential to a vigorous, healthy society. If you've watched a dog grieve or a kitten melt into your arms, you've glimpsed it. Animals feel deeply. In fact, we've learned much of our emotional life from them. An aging wolf, too slow to hunt, is not bullied by the young. He is honored. When the pack returns with a kill, they tear portions so the elder can eat organs and meat with ease. When an old male dies, his mate may run and run, pausing only to howl, fleeing the pain of loss. At a sanctuary in central Tennessee, the author saw Tina, a 34-year-old elephant, pass away. Her companions approached and touched her body with their trunks. At the burial, elephants that normally keep distance stood shoulder to shoulder, gazing at her grave. Tina's closest friend placed a tire, a favorite toy, atop the mound. Whales and dolphins used dozens of social signals, even signature whistles for their names. Elephants are steady and cohesive. Their neural wiring is, in some ways, more intricate than ours, giving them long memory and emotional poise. Crows grasp cause and effect. Dogs can solve simple arithmetic. Simply watching birds forage, meeting a dog's eyes, or scratching a stray cat behind the ear forms a small sacred bridge. And our bodies answer with endorphins and warmth. To truly respect animals is to widen our circle of care to all creatures. Wolves and elephants, yes, and also ducks, cows, pigs. Each has something to teach about a blessed, kinder life. We prize efficiency, but nature is the master. In just 90 minutes, the sun bathes Earth with as much energy as humanity uses in a year. Leaves are tuned down to subatomic dynamics to drink in light. Engineers study this. Bullet trains, wind turbines, water filters, all borrow from biology. Why hexagonal honeycomb? Because it packs maximum space with minimum material. Energy smart design. What can we learn? 3 words: harmony, balance, rhythm. Harmony. Don't fight the wind. Migrating birds wait out headwinds rather than waste themselves. Balance. Match energy in with energy out. Animals move after feeding to reset the system. Rhythm. Honor daily and seasonal cycles for work, rest, and renewal. Discipline in step with life. The point isn't to grind harder, it's to waste less life. Think of sloths. Hanging upside down reduces the energy of balancing. They eat leaves, lower body temperature, and do everything slowly, an evolutionary bet on conservation. Contrast that with frantic monkeys raiding human food. Plenty of hustle, little harmony. Practical counsel: drop obsessive rumination. Chaotic emotions burn fuel and leave you weak. When stuck, step outside. Let trees unclench your mind. A short walk can reboot your senses and focus. And release greed. Collaboration fails when we're grabbing for a bigger slice. Gratitude is the engine of generosity. When we appreciate others, life runs smoother. As the saying goes, kindness to others is kindness to yourself. This, again, is interdependence in action, a quiet law of the universe. Nature is primed for renewal. After wildfire, American black pines have already shed lower branches to slow the flames. Wide spacing stores water and breaks fire spread. Heat cracks their cones so seeds can sprout first in the soot. Nutrients fuse with ash to form rich soil. Trees taller, fungi larger, moss thicker. Astonishing power. We, by contrast, often can't bounce back from a single blow because we crave permanent safety. We try to stamp out every disturbance, or we run. But without fire, there's no tempered steel. Trials build not only resilience, but hidden capacities. Overmanaging risk can smother growth. The way forward is nature's way. Prepare, then face hardship without fear. Do the inner work, soften dualism, love peace, and also welcome challenge. Nature rebounds because abundance is stockpiled daily. Likewise, we can restore ourselves step by step. The simplest medicine is the most natural. Wholesome food, mindful breathing, movement outdoors, immersion in the living world. Let nature reset your cadence and bring you back to balance. Every tribe has elders whose lives translate experience into guidance. Nature, too, has elders, ancient trees that sense which saplings need light or nutrients. Seasoned animals whose presence steadies the group. Remove elder elephants and chaos erupts. One observed herd, leaderless, turned rogue for a decade and killed over 100 rhinos. Old trees archive climate memory. From their rings we infer 1,000-year patterns, summer fog, ocean currents, and better see how human activity shifts the planet. The author's 102-year-old neighbor was such a light. Hardship taught her survival, but she turned that will toward beauty. Nature fed her gratitude. Spring buds in the backyard, long, warm summers, filling her with energy. She died peacefully at 102, leaving the author with a simple charge. Don't get lost in your own script. Learn to observe yourself. We often share books by wise elders. Inamori Kazuo's Reflections, written at 90, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara's Living Long, Living Well at 106, Charlie Munger's Collected Maxims at 99, and more recently, insights from Japan's oldest practicing psychologist, born in 1929, Dr. Nakamura. Their early years were rough, yet with clear thinking and patient skill, they built lives of abundance and joy. Expect more such voices here. May we all draw from their distilled experience. To close, a line from the author: beauty is within arm's reach. On a summer afternoon beneath an old maple, when you suddenly realize there's nothing to fix, nothing to plan, only sunlight, shade, and the wind passing through leaves, beauty rises to meet you. You breathe out nourishment for the tree. It returns the oxygen you need, The world is giving to you, and you are giving to the world. In an era of wildfires, pandemics, and strange weather, may we feel, deep down, how respecting nature is another name for respecting life itself. Let these 8 lessons be your lighthouse, guiding you toward a life rich with meaning. Thank you for listening. If this video helped, share it with someone who needs it. Tap like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss our weekly videos. Until next time.